What's up, guys? Charles here from Team COG, coming at you guys here with a test hand video for Tenyi Swordsoul. This deck is pretty cool, man. It's not as linear as people think it is. I think it's a little bit more complex and a little bit more, especially with the new stuff like the Tenyi Spirit here. It adds a little bit more versatility and a lot more interesting lines. So I'd like to do some test hands, and that would be like kind of like showing you some combos and stuff like that. We'd do some hypothetical hand traps and everything through it and stuff. But please remember, if you guys enjoy this type of content, hit that subscribe button, ding that notification bell, hit that, get knighted, man. Support the channel if you guys enjoy this stuff. I really appreciate all this stuff. If you guys see any different types of combos or different type of lines, comment down below what you would have done if it equals better than what we've already done, etc. But without further ado, we're gonna quickly shuffle it up here and go ahead and jump on into the first test hand. All right, here we go, guys. We're gonna do the quick cut and our first test in here. We'll do most of these going first because I feel like Tenyi has a pretty decent time going second, if you guys don't know, like Baxia and stuff like that. So we'll do most of these going first because this is the way the deck wants to go. So we go ahead and we draw our first Tenyi Spirit Zuhara, Tenyi Swordsoul of Taya, Long John Silvers, Effect Veiler, and last but not least, Ashuna. Okay, so this is where I think like the deck gets a little bit complex, like correct way to sequence plays. So we have the ability to like combo just with these two without even committing our normal summon. Since Nib is back in the format and Nib is like the bane of our existence, it'd probably be smarter to go this route and try and force out a Nib and play through a Nib, just holding the normal summon for like Taya and like Long John Silver, so that way like we can push through Nib. So with that in mind, I think I'm just gonna go and special summon out the Ashuna and go ahead and link it off here for a Monk of the Tenyi. I will go ahead and banish Ashuna to go ahead and summon out the Shathana. The cool thing about the new Tenyi Spirit Tsuruya is that it's like not the other, because the normal combo is you have to special the Tenyi first, right? And then use the effect. Otherwise, if you control a non-effect monster, you can't control an effect monster. You can't special on the Tenyis. That's not what this one is. So we go ahead and special here. We'll go ahead and then special out our Tsuruya. So we have like two lines essentially here to pivot. We can go right into the Mula Adahara and go straight into like our either Infinitenyi or into like our, I'm playing a Summon Breaker as a searchable field spell. It's like a floodgate. We could go right into that because we have the normal summon of Taya, or we can go into our like a Tenyi Infinity and then go along the lines of getting access to Protos, which I think that's what we'll do. And then hopefully in the Nether test hand we can show like just going the Summon Breaker route and stuff like that. So the cool thing is we want to do this here is because we're protected. We can't be impermed if we go this route. We go here to the Tenyi Spirit Mulahara, where they can't imperm this because of its own effect. If we control a non-effect monster, we can't be, this thing can't be targeted. So we go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, to go ahead and summon out our, so like here, like I said, if we're trying to beat Nib, I feel like you pay 4,000 to go ahead and summon out the Sahara, because now this like gets you in that really cool where nothing can be targeted, which it'll protect your Protos. So since that's the line we're going for, I probably assume that's the smart play to go for. Or you can go into your Shaman, but for right here, we'll go into this. This will go here. This will add us our Tin Affinity. And like I said, you could also add your choice of field spell. I would like potentially add the Summon Breaker and then normal summon, activate Summon Breaker, and then like YuGiOh and stuff. Malice and YuGiOh struggle. Malice has a little bit, or not Malice, YuGiOh has a little bit of time outing like this luck just because of the aggregator. I found out today that card literally just says target a card on the field, not a monster, and I think that's absurd. That's just kind of insane that a card like that, like that's just wild to me. I will add Tin Affinity, and then we'll just go and activate the Tin Affinity and go ahead and search ourselves out the Dragon. Not the Vessel, the Dragon Cycle, where is it? The Heavenly Dragon Circle. So what you want to go ahead and do, we want to go ahead and activate this, tributing off the Tenyi Spirit. I really wish this card had a better effect. I wish it was like an end piece because it's just so cool, but we're just sitting here getting free real estate at the moment. So go ahead and tribute it off to go ahead and search ourselves our best worm monster in the deck, which is the, where is it at? Arch Nemesis Protos. It is kind of cool that you have multiple ways to search this out via either Heavenly Circle or the Swordsoul Emergence. I feel like every deck has to have something unfair, and I feel like Swordsoul, in a sense, is like a super fair deck, and this is probably the most unfair thing that it can do is search Protos. But anyway, we go here, and now I think this is where we follow up with our normal summon. All right, guys, sorry about that. Always remember to put your phone on Do Not Disturb when you're recording a video. So anyway, we tribute this, add the Protos, and then now we can follow up with a normal summon of Taya, which will get us right into pretty much everything else that we need to. Since we have to search this, we can get up set up to Swordsoul Blackout. We can get into Shishao plus our Sinister Longguan or our Xinying. So this is just kind of pretty without using our normal summon. So if our opponent hit us with a Nib anywhere between this, we still have the follow-up of the normal. And if they held the Nib for a while, since as soon as we search Circle, we're able to quick play it. You know, it's a quick play to chain. So like we could have searched this, and like if we got a Nib token, we literally follow up with the normal summon of Taya. Protos and stuff like that, so it's pretty strong. But anyway, normal summon, we go ahead and use the effect. I guess we'll just go ahead and banish this. Go ahead and go here, and then we just mixing these up here. Go right here for YuGiOh. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. I would go ahead and dump an Adhara. Yeah, I just dump an Adhara, and then this right here literally adds us anything. We could actually add emergence to search. Like we could, yeah, like it's just kind of endless like what we could do. We have to add a Swordsoul card, so like technically if we wanted to get the long one out, we have to add like anything. So I think for this, it honestly doesn't matter. So I would add emergence just because they're flexible in case you get hit with disruptions at this point. That way you could just Swordsoul for something else. There's not really many things to emergence for, except for like a Moyi. So like go here for Moyi. I guess technically, hold up, since we do technically control a Synchro, emergence can search us anything. So we can go ahead and search ourselves. Actually, hold up, yeah, I'm goofing, guys. I'm tripping. So this is like why we do test hands and you play test, so you see these things. You grab Blackout, you banish Adhara to go and add back your Ashuna, or you could add back the Tsuruya, and then we go ahead and go here, pitching this, summon this out, and then we just synchro here for your choice of Sinister Long Wan or the Xingyin. We'll just go right here for this. We go ahead and set Blackout, and then we Protos, and Protos can't be impermed by banishing a Fire, a Light, and a Wind. And then we go and we call Dark, or call, you could call Light, but calling Light kind of sucks, but like sometimes, like especially if you're playing against like YuGiOh Fiendsmith, calling Light is probably the best option here, just because of, Fiendsmith and YuGiOh are all light. You lose the YuGiOh and the big giant Sasahara, but arguably at this point, if you're just going to if you knew you're playing against that matchup, you wouldn't summon this. You'd probably summon out something like the Shaman, or you could summon out the Monk that way. And then you would call Light, only losing the YuGiOh and not have to pay 4,000 life points to just nuke your own Sasahara. So like that's where a lot of like playtesting, understanding combo sequencing and stuff like that, knowing the matchup. If you know you're playing against Fiendsmith, the Fiendsmith YuGiOh stuff, like not to do this because that would just be a waste of your life points. But anyway, you call Dark, playing against Malice and like maybe some other strategies, then literally they can't even play. This board is crazy. It's they can't target nothing. They can't summon their monsters. You have Blackout here to be able to sack off the Tenyi or the token you spawn off of the Sahara to pop 2 cards. So this is like a pretty custom hand here, but we'll go ahead and shuffle it up and we'll go into another test hand. All right, we got the shuffle done here, guys. We'll quickly do a quick cut and draw our first 5 cards. Our first 5 cards is going to be the Tenyi Spirit Tsuruya, Sunbreaker, the searchable field spell that you arguably don't have to play, but I'm choosing to play it. I'm testing. I saw in the Tenyi Facebook group that it'd be an okay card to play, so we'll see how that goes. Effect Veiler and Vishuda. So this is actually pretty, I would say it's not crazy. Vishuda being one of the weaker ones that we got. Literally Ashina's the best Tenyi, so like if it was the same thing. So I think we go here and we go ahead and fire off Emergence. Right here, if they ash this, I mean, it kind of is dumb. It'd be kind of really dumb to ash this, but like I understand it. Like if they ash it, our hand's like kind of weak in the sense of like Sunbreaker being one of the bricks that we don't want to see, and the deck doesn't play like a lot of bricks. But anyway, we'll go ahead and go here for our choice of Moyi, and then we'll go ahead and normal summon out the Moyi. You can reveal the Vishuda, and then if they imperm this, you get the ability to just fire off Tsuruya and just play through it. Where then again, so if you do that, the combo sequence is different. Like I'm still learning the lines where like I know what to do when this gets impermed with Tsuruya, but like if this resolved, I'm trying to figure out where's a good spot to like summon Tsuruya here and like use her effect to be able to and just use her optimally. Whereas like the only best time to use her is like right here. So hypothetically, we'll go here. You reveal the Vishuda, get ourselves a token. We go ahead and go here into our YuGiOh because we have to go into YuGiOh because like we don't have 2 worms to go into the Mula. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. We'll go ahead and shuffle real quick because we went into it. Do a quick cut. Draw a card. We draw Shithana, which isn't like super terrible actually. Draw Shithana. And then we get to search for a Swordsoul card. We don't want to grab Emergence, so we'll probably go ahead and grab grabbing the Tsuruya here for some odd reason. I'll grab Longzhan here. So we got to do this interestingly here. So we already normal summoned Mo Yi. This might just be your standard board here, because we've already had to exhaust the emergence in the beginning. Arguably, maybe it was like normal Mo Yi, don't use the effect, special that, and then combo that way. But other than that, we're really just going here to pitch, summon, and then we get a token. And as long as the token's up, we can't special if they actually accept synchro monsters, so it's almost, there's no point in even special summoning this. We can't special this because we have to control no effect monsters, and we control effect monsters, so I feel like this hand's just pretty simple, pretty cookie cutter. We just hard opened a really good card, I guess. We go here, and then I think we just go for cheat. So I'm also struggle, like, you get like almost the same amount of disruptions, right? You get if you go in either one, but one can protect itself, but like this burns, so like go here, activate Summon Breaker, and then this is our end board. So like technically 3 forms of disruption: in-perm, a banish a special summon monster, banish a spell and trap. On the 3rd summon, it's their end phase. We have Effect Veiler, and then we have like follow up in the sense of these. If they out this board, which is pretty crazy, because like if they out it, we can just special Shazana, special this, and then synchro here for either the Muladhara, Baxia, whatever like we really need to go for here. But yeah, that was a pretty easy, pretty quick test hand here. So we'll just go ahead and shuffle it up and go on to a 3rd one. All right, guys, test hand number 3. We'll go ahead and do a quick cut and see what our first 5 cards are. Effect Veiler, Adhara, Ashuna, Ash Blossom, and the Heavenly Circle. Okay, so this is an anti-Nibiru line in the sense of since we opened these 2. So we're going to be able to like lock the opponent out of lights, but that's really about it. I guess we can bridge into our other stuff. So like this is one of those things where it's like if we happen to open like Taya, Emergence, Mo Yi, like we have like combo sequence, but I think we have to utilize these cards here, this 2-card combo, to just be able to play the game. So instead of going Baxia, trying to lock the opponent out of light, we need to try and go a different route, because I don't think through the Baxia or through the Xiaofeng line do we get the additional body on the field to be able to use Circle to tribute. So I think we special out here. And this is like showing you like a reminder to the old school Tenyi combos. I special summon the Adhara first, because if you use Ashuna, you can't special Adhara, because then you control an effect monster. So banish this. You go ahead and summon out our Vishuddha. Now we can go right into Xixiao if we want to, because this right here connects us to our Swordsoul. Or we could go into Mula. Mula's protected. Grab Cycle. Cycle to dump and add, which, I mean, like, really, there's not really anything. No, we can add a Tenyi. Yeah, that might be the smart way to go. So we go right here. So for those who are wondering, you go here. If you're trying to go the Xiaofeng line, you go into Baxia. Use Baxia to destroy the Monk to bring back the Adhara, and then you synchro into Xiaofeng, and then they're locked out of lights. And that's cool. But as you can see in this hand, if we did that, that's all we're doing, and that's not really going to be enough, because we have, in the sense of like these cards, Xiaofeng has to stay on the field, I believe, in order for it to apply its effect. So if it gets resolved, if it leaves the field, you lose that ability. So like, there's no point in even trying to protect yourself from Nib when this is going to be the thing you're going to do. You might as well just full send it, you know? So anyway, we're going to go here because this can't be impermed. I mean, it can be ashed. So we go here, effect to go ahead and add. We'll go ahead and add ourselves our Tenyi Affinity. We'll go and activate Tenyi Affinity and use the effect to add. We already opened the circle, so we grab the cycle. And then I think the play is to go ahead and banish the Adhara to go ahead and add back this. We can go Vessel to send any worm. So I think maybe you send, like at this point, like I'm also learning, like maybe you just send Long John just to go ahead and get it so you don't draw into it. And you get to add yourself any Tenyi. So we're just going to go ahead and add ourselves the Saruya here. I mean, actually, hold up. So let's think a second. So we have this, but we haven't, we didn't normal summon yet. So maybe the correct line, oh, maybe it was actually, we're supposed to grab the Summon Breaker instead of this. So then these 2 cards would be back. We grab Summon Breaker, this Tribute, normal banish, Chi-Xiao grab that, and then our end board is Summon Breaker, Chi-Xiao, and Summon Breaker, Chi-Xiao, and Protos with 2 hand traps. Maybe that was the way to go. We'll just rock it this way. Just like I said, I have this as like testing. So you add this, you activate this right here will dump this, add this, you add this off of this. So here we go. You go Heavenly Cycle. I guess, well, no, we get to the same way. Heavenly Cycle, Tribute, to go ahead and summon out our... Search our... We go for Moyi here? Because we have... Yeah, because we have the ability to extend through our place here. Normal Moyi. If they're holding a hand trap all this time, which arguably could, because there was like in-perm. There's no point in which they could in-permed us, especially since we sequenced that to protect the Moolah. They could in-perm this here, and then you just extend with the Saruya since we search it off a vessel. But anyway, we go ahead and reveal Saruya, get a token. Synchro here for Chi-Xiao. Chi-Xiao 1, Moyi 2. We'll go ahead and just shuffle it up here and draw a card. We draw the Protos. We're just built different. Okay. Now that just means we got to do some particular lines differently. I think we just search out our Long John, maybe? I guess we could search out Long John, but like, to what end do we search out Long John? Because we got this Saruya in our hand to like push through more stuff, but like once we use Long John here, we lose the ability because we get locked into synchro, so we can't like special summon from the extra deck. And that's where like sometimes I wish like there was like a particular card that summoned a non-worm token, right? Like a non-tuner worm, which would be kind of interesting. But let's see here. We can go here, pitch this, summon. If we were able to get out the Saruya, we'd be able to protect the Protos from being targeted with Imperm, which would be pretty cool. Go here. And then technically we could go like, you know, Protos, banishing 3. We'll banish this, Moyi, and the fire. Come on out. And like we could call Dark, and then there we go. You could call Light again, and then at this point, if you're just losing Light, you're using Chi-Xiao, which against, like I said, Ryzeal Fiendsmith would be pretty good. And plus, we have the 2 hand traps in our hand on top of everything to kind of like combat it and everything. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad testing. Like I said, I think there was a different line we could have gone. We could have ended on, I think, Chi-Xiao with the Protos and Summon Breaker, which arguably is a little bit better because then, like, there's not a lot of spell and trap removal out. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and jump on into another test in and just keep riding the storm, guys. All right, here we go. A good old cut. Let's draw our first 5 cards. All right, so first 5 cards is going to be another Adhara. Effect Veiler. I think we've seen Effect Veiler every hand. That's wild. Tenyi Affinity, Nib, and Saruya. So this is actually pretty cool, simply because like Effect Veiler exists. So like, I think we activate Tenyi Affinity. Effect Veiler is cool because in the sense if you open a level 7, such as Ashuna or Vishuddha, you can normal summon Effect Veiler and still make a synchro. On activation, we'll go ahead and grab the Vessel, because we're going to try and do our best here. Add Vessel. Special summon the Ashuna. Excuse me, Adhara. Link off, transform it into a monk up here. Sorry, let me fix all this. Then we'll go and activate Vessel to go ahead and dump Ashuna. Add the Shathana. Special the Shathana right here, and then we can special out the Saruya, and then we can synchro here for Chi-Xiao or Moolah. Go Moolah, we had Breaker. This will summon out. Yeah, I think that we have to go Chi-Xiao. And we go here to Chi-Xiao, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Yeah, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Chainlink 2 will summon out our pay 4,000, summon out this Sahasrara. And then this will rely on us to search. And I think it's an easy search for emergence. As far as I can see, we have 3 different attributes in the graveyard. And then like this is like we could pivot here if we wanted to. So like of course you can go emergence into Protos, or we can banish this to summon out Vishuddha, and then banish this, add it back to Ashuna, and then of course, and then we can search out Long One if we wanted to. But if we don't want to do that, we just go right here for Protos. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? So like we go here, we grab Protos. Protos can't be hit with Imperm. So then we just, you know, Protos, banishing 3, banish 1, 2, 3. To summon out the Protos. Protos called Dark. Banish the Adhara to add back the Ashna. And this is our end board here, which might not seem like a lot, but it kind of is. We have the ability to mimic a nothing can be targeted. Opponent cannot target card effects by monsters on the field, period. With card effects, we're able to copy one. They can't summon dark, so we have an end perm. We have Infect Veiler and Nib just sitting here chilling, too, if things get a little too hairy. So yeah, not too bad right there. I think that was pretty cool hand, considering we didn't open any Swordsoul, really. But, like, that's just how good... That's how good these two engines flow good together, is the fact that Swordsoul and Tenyi get you to one another. It's, like, really cohesive. But let's go ahead and shuffle up and do another test hand. All right, here we go. Another test in here. Do our quick cut. See our first 5 cards, which will be Nibiru, Ecclesia, Ash Blossom, Moyi, Tenyi Affinity. So this is a very interesting hand here. I think we go Tenyi Affinity, right? Start adding in Tenyi Affinity. Go ahead and search out our... This is like preemptive, like, so like we're expecting to get like hit with an Effect Veiler or Nib. So we go ahead and activate the circle. We add the circle. And then maybe we start out with the normal sum. This is like one of the things, like this is why I cut Ecclesia down from 3 to 2, is because like you don't want to see her in conjunction with anything, because she's not a Swordsoul by name. So like you can't reveal her. We normal her, and like if we tribute her and they ash this, like our turn's over. So I think the smart play is just to go ahead and normal summon Moyi, and then reveal our... Oh, and hold up. Hold up, we actually can't do that. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so I don't think normal summon Moyi is the way. I thought we had another... I literally don't know what I was thinking. I thought we had another worm, so that's not the way. That is not the way. I don't even know what the line would be with this. So maybe this ain't the search here. So we got to go Tenyi Affinity. We dump a Tenyi. I don't think there's any... I don't think this hand functions. I know, I mean, like, I see... Hold up, I do see a way it could function, right? So, like, we go Ecclesia Tribute. If we get ashed, it's over, right? We just lose right away. But otherwise, we summon out Taya. We go Tenyi Affinity. Search out our Cycle. Or visit Vessel. Yeah, it's Vessel. We activate Vessel to send a worm. It doesn't matter really what we send. I feel like we gotta send... We send Ashina, maybe? Send Ashina. Effect. Banish to get a token. Synchro into... Chisao. Chisao 1, Taya 2. Taya sends Adhara. And then I think maybe we give ourselves a token? Do we have enough attributes to light? I mean, technically we could go for the Protos lock again. So we've done this, like, I've showed you guys how consistent the deck can get to a Protos lock. We go for Emergence. Emergence at Protos. Banish these 3. There you go. We have our Protos right there. Protos Chisao. But I think instead I'm going to try and do like a different line here. And I think I'm going to quickly add... I'm going to banish the Blackout to give us a token. And then I'm going to banish this to add back the Ashina. But just go ahead and banish the Ashina to get out the Shadana. And then we have 2 different routes that we can do here. We can either go here for a Mula, right? Mula can grab us the Breaker, so it's Chisao plus Breaker. Or we go for Berserker, which then, like, our end board is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 forms of Disruption, which again isn't like super terrible, but it just depends on you. So for the sake of the video, we'll go ahead and add Mula. Mula to go ahead and grab us the Summon Breaker, the pretty much the brick of the deck, in my opinion. The only non, like, outside of that, pretty much a non-engine. Add this. Activate. We then can link this off if we wanted to get like an extra form of Disruption, I think, into Monk. So then this is our end board, is like Breaker plus Monk plus this. So if they solve Monk, there you got it. You know, Shatana's going to be able to destroy a card, a pop. Then the 2 hand traps here, along with a Moyi for follow-up, which isn't like super strong because I guess the next card we draw would be Emerge. So that'd be like a pretty insane follow-up, would be right here. But yeah, all right, guys, let's go ahead and shuffle up and do one more test hand here to see what we can do. All right, guys, final test in here. Let's go ahead and do a quick cut. All right, and let's see what our opening hand of 5 is. It looks like it's going to be Ashina, Emergence, Blackout. Okay, so we saw Blackout. That's pretty cool. Saruya, and Vishuddha. So there is definitely, like I showed you guys earlier, right here, this hand is kind of just straight gas. I think we're able to play through a few disruptions here, which is pretty cool. But I think the best way to do this is, again, hold Emergence and like this right here and try to combo with these. Because like literally the deck, as you guys can see, we can eat through multiple hand traps, but Nibiru is the one thing we cannot beat. So we want to be able to, I guess technically we can still actually hold up. Yeah, we could do this with these two. Yeah. So let's do the anti-Nibiru line just to showcase it, right? So we're going to go ahead and special summon out Ashuna, link it off here for the monk. Remember, special from hand, banish Ashuna to go ahead and summon out our Adhara. We'll go ahead and synchro here, or Baxia. If you're going second, you can literally spin 3 cards here, which is kind of crazy. And then we'll go ahead and go Baxia effect, target the monk to destroy it, summon back here. They have to nib you here. If they do not nib you here, they will not be able to. So right here, if we get nibbed, we literally have Emergence with Saruya to like literally play through the Nibiru. And if they don't nib us here, we'll just go ahead and pretend they don't and go right into Chaofeng. Chaofeng gets summoned. Opponent can no longer activate light monster effects and earth monsters. And then now we're literally off to the races. Emergence into Mo Yi. Then we can normal summon Mo Yi, Mo Yi's effect to go ahead and go here. Then we can synchro off here into, arguably we have 2 routes we could go. We could go for Mula. Mula to grab us the... Mula could grab us... Thinking here. Or maybe the correct line was not Moye, but I got greedy because I like to draw off Moye, so maybe Moye wasn't like the correct line. Maybe it was supposed to go Taya. But we could go into Mula. Mula to add Breaker, special out this. That doesn't do nothing. So we go into Chi Shao. We can get to a better board here, I think. So we go here. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. We get a draw and a search. Never mind. I don't think we can. So we had to start with the Swordsoul Emergence, so we're not going to be able to do that. So maybe, hang on. Maybe the correct line is to do this, and we go for the other. Okay, I think I see a line here. So we go for Mula. We're going to search out our... So like we could go here and use this, and then just like literally set Blackout, Breaker, and then like we're sitting pretty okay, right? Like that's an option. You could search that. Like I said, I just saw this and I've been testing it because like sometimes like in situation or weakened board states, just grab Breaker is pretty good. But for the sake of this, we're going to go ahead and grab Tenyi Infinity. We're going to activate Tenyi Infinity to go ahead and search ourselves anything we want. We can grab, let's see here. We want to probably grab the circle, excuse me, the circle. And then we have the ability to, you know, get into Protos here. We could get into Protos, Blackout. Wouldn't be too terrible. We could link this down into a monk. Banish this, add back the Ashina. Go cycle. I think... So we can get to Protos, but I actually am thinking here that we can do a different way. We can end on like a bigger board. Because of course I've showed you like all these test ends have literally just showed you that we can do Protos because it's consistent. There's probably going to be some matchups that you don't want to go into Protos with. Like hypothetically you're playing it's like Ritual Beast or, you know, like Speedroid, Synchron, stuff like that. Well, Synchron can do Light or Dark. But essentially there's going to be some matchups where like Protos ain't always going to be the correct call because you can either only call Light, Fire, Dark really consistently. So for the sake of this test hand, we've already locked them out of Nibiru. Just know that for this, you could go into Protos and lock them out of Darks. And then they can't activate light effects and they're locked out of Darks. So that'd be like an insane like lock to get going. But so for the sake of this test hand though, we're going to try and do something a little bit different here. So we're going to tribute one worm, but since we tributed a non-effect monster, we can special summon one from our deck, essentially. And then special non-effect monster, activate, you can special summon it instead, but negates effects. So we're going to go and special summon out Shithana. Right, go ahead and go Shithana, and then we'll special summon out the Shrew that we've been holding go right here into YuGiOh here, instead of like we did before, of YuGiOh 1, YuGiOh 2 to summon out the big old dragon. This right here, or the big old worm, I should say, just grab us. And then see here, we'll go for our long one. And then we can go long one, pitch this, summon here, right here, and then we'll go here, right into evil long one. Or, you know, for the sake of the video, since we have blackout, we can actually do some pretty cool stuff. We'll go here for Chenying, set blackout, and then this is our end board, which is kind of crazy. As soon as the first monster they commit to, we can use Sahara to like summon a token. Then nothing can be targeted, nothing can just be hit with Imperm. We have the no light monsters. We have an Imperm herself. We have the Chenying, which if something gets banished, which can be triggered off of either Grandmaster YuGiOh or the blackout using trying to destroy this. We can banish this so we can solve 4 cards kind of in a way with blackout plus the Chenying. So like this is a pretty impressive board for Swordsoul. But yeah, I think this will wrap it up for the test hand video, guys. Remember, if you guys enjoy this type of content, comment down below. Let me know what you guys enjoy. And yeah, without further ado, guys, you guys stay safe, stay healthy. This is Charles from Team COG signing out.